Imagine a small piece of rock found in the dry, barren, and seemingly lifeless desert of Australia. This small rock or ancient crystal is revealing an incredibly fascinating and very big secret to us: that the Earth might have been ready for life much earlier than we indeed thought. But what if I told you that there are things found on Earth that are even older than the Sun itself? I'm talking about a crystal that is only twice the diameter of a human hair. But this is not just an ordinary piece of Earth. Well, today we want to talk about this crystal you see, the zircon crystal, which has existed since almost the early birth of planet Earth. But that's not the whole story. We will also discuss another controversial discovery that dates back 5 to 7 billion years and made its way to Earth from space. But before we dive into these two strange discoveries, make sure to like the video, write your thoughts in the comments, and turn on the channel notifications. When a group of geologists was engaged in the meticulous task of drilling in a remote area called Jack Hills in Western Australia in the year 2001, they suddenly found something beneath the layers of soil and rock that was beyond their imagination. A zircon crystal that was 4.4 billion years old. You should know that the Jack Hills area is a barren desert where, due to harsh weather conditions, low rainfall, and extreme temperatures, no living creature can easily survive. Nevertheless, this area is very important because of the zircon crystals it contains. In fact, zircons are a type of very hard mineral that form in molten materials beneath the Earth's crust and remain in the rocks after cooling. These crystals are extremely resistant to high temperatures and intense pressure. This is what makes them act like a time capsule, preserving information from the early ages of the Earth within them. However, the discovery of this crystal, which is 4.4 billion years old, is very important for the same reason. Because it provides us with information indicating that the Earth cooled much earlier than we previously thought. This means that the existence of this crystal proves that 4.4 billion years ago, the Earth was not a molten sphere, but rather had conditions where solid rocks could form and even liquid water could exist on the planet's surface. In fact, the chemical composition of this crystal contains isotopes of oxygen that indicate these rocks formed in the presence of water, and volcanic activity also decreased accordingly. Thus, the discovery of this crystal supports a theory called the cool early Earth, which contradicts the Hadean Earth theory. While the Hadean Earth hypothesis suggests that, during the first 500 million years of its existence, Earth was a completely hot, molten, and harsh world, where no signs of life could have formed. The cool early Earth theory suggests that during its early period, around 4 to 4.4 billion years ago, Earth was not an extremely hot molten ball with no signs of water or life on its surface. Instead, Earth developed a solid crust much earlier than previously thought. Its surface temperature decreased and cooled, and it likely had conditions that could support oceans and perhaps even life. Of course, when we say life, we mean microbial life. In fact, the first probable inhabitants of Earth were simple, single-celled microbes. These organisms were likely very resilient and could survive in harsh conditions. However, a strong hypothesis also suggests that the first living organisms emerged in the depths of the oceans near underwater volcanic vents. These areas were full of minerals and heat, which created favorable conditions for the formation of the first living cells. Even today, organisms like thermophilic bacteria, which are microbes that live in high temperatures, can be found there, indicating that such environments could have been the birthplace of life. On the other hand, primordial sludge could have been the first simple ecosystems for the first simple cells. Some theories also suggest that viruses might have been present alongside the first living cells from the very beginning and helped in their evolution. Therefore, the first forms of life might have been something between viruses and living cells. Thus, if life on Earth began less than a few 100 million years after the planet formed, this means that perhaps other planets elsewhere in the universe could become ready for life much sooner. But even though zircon crystal is considered the oldest known piece of Earth's material, it is not the oldest thing found on Earth. In 1969, a strange meteorite named Murchison fell in the state of Victoria, Australia. When scientists examined this meteorite, they discovered that it contained particles of interstellar dust that are between 5 to 7 billion years old. It's interesting to know that the Sun was formed about 4.6 billion years ago. The birth of planet Earth also occurred about 4.5 billion years ago. Therefore, these particles are not only older than Earth, but are even older than the Sun and the entire solar system. On the other hand, the analysis of the isotopic composition of these particles shows that they remained from a period of star formation known as the star birth period in the Milky Way galaxy. In parentheses, let me mention that the star formation burst period refers to times when the rate of star formation significantly increases. Of course, star formation depends on various factors. For example, our galaxy might have collided with a smaller galaxy, causing the compression of gases and triggering the birth of new stars. Or it might be that supernova explosions and the death of large stars have caused some gas and dust to spread in space, leading to the formation of the next generation of stars. Therefore, it might be said that we and everything on Earth are made from the remnants of dead stars that extinguished billions of years ago, because the materials found in this meteorite indicate that we originated from the remnants of an older generation of stars. In other words, it could even be said that perhaps life came to Earth from space. This topic refers to the panspermia theory, which suggests that meteorites like Murchison might have brought the seeds of life from space to Earth. This means that life might have been transferred to Earth from somewhere else in space, rather than having originated directly on Earth. Let's examine this topic a bit more closely. Panspermia is composed of two parts, pan meaning everywhere, and spermia meaning sperm, seed, or germ. This means that the seeds of life might have been spread throughout the universe and transferred from one planet or solar system to another via meteorites, comets, or even interstellar winds. It's interesting to know that panspermia has different types. The first type, known as natural panspermia, suggests that microbes or basic life materials were naturally transferred between planets or even between different solar systems via meteorites, comets, or space dust, and after millions of years of traveling through the cosmos, they initiated life in various places. The second is directed panspermia, which suggests that advanced space civilizations like aliens intentionally sent life to other planets, including Earth. The third type is reverse panspermia, which proposes that life might have traveled from Earth to other places. For example, the impact of a large meteorite on Earth could have caused pieces of Earth to be carried into space, and these pieces might have taken bacteria or other biological materials with them, potentially creating life on another planet. But I would like to know your opinion. Do you think life might have come to Earth from space or gone from Earth to space? Or do you believe that life gradually developed solely on Earth? I would love to read your thoughts in the comments section. But in this video, we learned that the oldest thing related to Earth itself is a zircon crystal found in the Jack Hills region of Australia, which is 4.4 billion years old. However, the oldest external object discovered on Earth is related to the Murchison meteorite, which contains interstellar dust particles that are 5 to 7 billion years old. By the way, I forgot to mention that the total weight of the collected pieces of this meteorite was about 100 kilograms. However, the most important and largest parts of this meteorite are currently kept at the Fossil Museum of the University of Melbourne. But I want to say that although these discoveries are very tiny and might not be easily seen with the naked eye, like zircon crystals, they carry immense information. Information about the Earth and the cosmos, and the possibility that we are truly the children of the stars.